Okay, guys, so we're going to work on number 7 from our worksheet today. So again, we have 3 functions, linear, linear, linear. So you can start left to right because it makes more sense to me. But this one is a 1-to-1 slope. So you can see the 1-to-1 again. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So we know it's a y equals mx plus b because it's a line. Our slope is going to be 1, so we know that's an x. It is a positive line because it's increasing from left to right. If we extend this all the way through, we see that our b value, our y-intercept would be 0. So this is just y equals x. So it's the parent function of a linear function. So our first one is y equals x. And then we have another horizontal line here. So y equals -2. So where all horizontal lines are y equals. And then we have another line up here, another piece. And that one's slope again is a 1-to-1, which you can count, rise, run, rise, run, rise, run, rise, run. It's positive, so it's increasing. And if we backtrack, we'll see that it touches the y-axis at 2. So then that's going to be y equals x plus 2, because your slope is 1 over 1. So 1, and then it hits 2. So in function notation for our system, our first is x, so y equals x, y equals -2, and y equals x plus 2. And then we have to set our domains. And so again, that means you are looking at this line, but along the x-axis only. So our purple line starts at that -4, and it comes with all the numbers smaller. So again, you can just put x's down here if you want to keep yourself straight and make sure you don't accidentally put a y or anything crazy, because it's domains. And again, domains are x values. I can't say that enough. And it's the smaller than -4. So because it's all of these numbers, which are smaller than -4. So x is less than -4, if you want to write it that way. Then our -2 horizontal line, it starts at -4, and then we see that it travels to 1. So it starts at -4 and it goes to a +1. At that -4, it's going to the right, which means x is going to be greater than -4. It's a closed circle, so we're going to put an equal marks. And then at 1, we have an open circle, and all the x values are to the left. So it's less than. It's an open circle, so no equal to. Our next line, x plus 2, it starts at that +1, and then it goes on forever. So x is going to be greater than, x is greater than 1. Or you could write it x is greater than 1 to the other side like we did the first one. Either way would be correct. And so that's setting up the domains for all 3 piecewise functions. Last but not least, number 8. So we have a horizontal line here, which means it touches the y-axis at 0. So y equals 0. We have a quadratic here. Our vertex is 0, 4. It's a negative parabola because it's a sad face. I would check my 1, 3, 5. So it is a parent function as far as the rate of change, or how its steepness is the parent function steepness. The only thing that happened was it flipped over and then it slid up 4. So if we look at our x minus h squared plus k, then there's that a in the front. But we've already determined that a is not any different than normal. It did not go left or right, so h stays 0. So we know it's x squared, and then it went up 4, so plus 4. So x squared plus 4, because k is our up, or our y of our vertex. Last line, linear again. It is a 1-to-1 slope, but it is decreasing from left to right, so it's a negative slope. So again, y equals mx plus b, -1. If we backtrack to see where it touches the y-axis, it's going to be at 0 again. So y equals a -1x, or -x. And then, of course, we're going to write it in function notation. So we have x squared plus 4. And those parentheses don't have to be there. We have -x, and then we have 0. And then we're going to set up our domains. So it's a lot of mini domains, which means we are going to use x values. So from everything to the left of negative 3, so x is less than negative 3 would be for our y equals 0. So x is less than negative 3 for this function. Not equal to, because that's an open circle, and that's everything smaller. So negative 4, 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8. Our quadratic picks up at that negative 3. And it goes all the way to a positive 3 right here. And it's all the numbers to the left of positive 3, but to the right, so x is greater than negative 3 for the other side. Our negative 3 over here, that's a solid circle, so we're definitely going to put it included with that equal marks. But our positive 3 is an open circle, so it is not included, so we will not put an equal mark there. Last but not least, our last function, linear function, it picks up at 3. And then x is all of the greater than values. So x is greater than 3. So x is greater than 3. Or you could write it x is greater than 3 because it's to the right. All right, great job, guys. That's all of our examples for today's worksheet.